Okay. Beat 'em. I'm gonna show y'all boys where I'm from, man. I'm from that
Back to back, Big Boss, K-Po, Talk Boxing. So, peep game. So, Gervonta Tank Davis, right? Is rumored to be in negotiations to fight Vasily Lomachenko after this fight. Now, I don't like it in essence, too. I look at it as they kind of looking ahead, but it's rumored that, they're in negotiations with Vasily Lomachenko, right? So, I like it. You know what I'm saying? Finally Tank finally finna start getting these names. He's starting with Frank, and then he's going to another southpaw, Vasily Lomachenko. That's gonna be a tricky fight for Tank. Not gonna lie to you, Tank gonna really have to hone in and really show his boxing IQ and really lock in, and because that's gonna be a tough fight. You know what I'm saying? Vasily Lomachenko is coming to fight. He's coming off a good performance. He is the IBF champion at 135. He stopped George Kambosos, and I would say Vasily Lomachenko's worst performance was against Teofimo Lopez, who was a bigger fighter than him. Tank, I believe, is a shorter fighter, but he got more power. But, that's going to be a tough fight. I'm not going to lie to you. That's going to be a tough fight, and it's going to be a unification. So, we shall see if Tank is able to rise and overcome that. I like it, but it's a tall order. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a tall order for Tank, but hey, if you say you're the best in boxing, you gotta fight dogs, you gotta fight killers, right? So he ready to be let off the leash, he ready to go eat. So let's see if Tank can do that. But he gotta take care of business against Frank Martin. Once he, if he's able to do that, which I think he will, that Vasily Lomachenko fight is very entertaining. But I gotta drop a little caveat in there. I find it funny how how Shakur Stevenson been asking for that fight, right? Been asking for it, and this gonna be the second fighter, right, that came from the outside and is possibly finna get this fight. What do you mean, boss? Devin Haney was not signed to Top Rank. He signed to Eddie Hearn, or they got like a partnership deal. He signs with Top Rank like a partnership deal, right? Because he wanted to become undisputed. So he signs with Top Rank, and he gets that Vasily Lomachenko fight, right? Now he became undisputed already. He just fought Lomachenko as this last part of his deal, right? Fights Lomachenko, and he beat him, but it's controversial, right? But Shakur Stevenson still no fight. You ever notice a pattern? Now, a lot of these people, according to Shakur, he'll sit there and say, oh, the reason why these people don't want to fight me is because they're afraid of me. That's what he said. I don't think it's that. See, I told y'all, Shakur Stevenson is a hell of a fighter. Very skilled, very talented. But he's not a big of a draw. Like, in his mind, he thinks he's box office, right? Which he should think the world of himself as a fighter, but at the same time, you gotta be realistic too. You gotta sit there and be like, look, I gotta build my profile up. See, Shakur just thinking, oh, I got the skills, I should get the fight. No. See, in order for these people to put this money behind you, you gotta be able, they gotta be able to get their ROI, return of interest, right? The money that they putting in, for this fight to get made and stuff like that, they gotta be able to get that back. And then some. And right now, Shakur Stevenson, how he's currently is as a fighter, as far as the brand, people put money behind that fight, they're not going to get that ROI back in that fight. That's just what it is. That's just how boxing is, right? You got to look at the business, right? Now, the business gets in the way, and it's annoying. Not going to lie to you. But we just gotta, when we talk boxing, you gotta include everything in the sport of boxing. You can't sit there and pick and choose and, oh man, nah. When you talking boxing, you gotta include everything in the sport of boxing. The business, the promoters, the everything. Everything counts in order for these fights to get made. So all I'm saying at the end of the day, I'm just laughing because Coor still ain't got these top fights. I want to see Coor in these top fights. You know what I'm saying? And he will get his opportunity. You know what I'm saying? He will. But he's kind of hindered his profile with all the talking and crying he been doing on the internet instead of him just fighting. Yo, just fighting. He been crying and all this, man, no, just fight. Your time coming. You know what I'm saying? His time gonna come. His time may come when Tank call his number. You know, it may come before that. You never know. You know? Now, truthfully, his time could have came before that when Devin, you know, he could have just fought Devin and, you know, yo. But he didn't want to. He said, nah, man, I'm a bit, you know, I'm worth more than that. So, I don't know, man. I think that it's all said and done. What they need to do, bro, is just fight. But to get back on topic, I like this for Tank. I think Tank, you know, is trying to make a statement. And, you know, we shall see how this goes. Vasily Lomachenko ain't no slouch, bro. He ain't no slouch. Tank in for a tough one, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I think Lomachenko got like 300 or 400 Emmys. Tank got almost 300 Emmys. And he in single digits in losses. So, people forget that, you know what I'm saying? When they just think Tank is a knockout artist. He just like, you know, nah, that boy he got skills. He got IQ. He can box. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm very interested in this fight, you know? But Tank got to take care of business first. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Let's go.